Welcome back, children. So today we will do human respiratory system. So here I have already drawn it for you. You please draw the diagram. Draw this diagram in your biology copy on the white page, on the blank page of your bio copy, right? So let's start here. You can see here. This is the outline of the face. This is the nasal passage, right? After that, this is the mouth cavity. Now I told you, this mouth cavity and the nasal passage, they have a common place, right? In the opening of the food pipe and windpipe, that is the esophagus and trachea, there is a common passage. Now whenever we breathe in, at that time, there is a flap which is called as epiglottis that covers the food pipe, right? And air enters the trachea or windpipe. Now, as you move further, here is a thin pharynx. Below pharynx is the larynx. Now, this larynx is also called as voice box, right? The sound that we produce is because of vocal cords which are present inside the larynx. In case of males, you will find that this larynx protrudes out near the throat, in the neck region, and the movement of the larynx is also visible. So that is also called as Adam's apple, remember, right? So whenever we speak, we'll find that in the throat region there is some movement. So that is actually this movement of the Adam's apple. That is also the larynx. Here sound is produced. Larynx is responsible for producing sound. Now inside the larynx, vocal cords are there. These vocal cords vibrate and we are able to produce the sound. If you want to speak loudly, then vocal cords, the amplitude of vocal cords will increase and a louder sound will be produced. Next, after larynx is trachea. Now this trachea is like a pipe which is supported by C-shaped cartilaginous rings. Why so? There is some reason. Now you have seen thin slender balloons. You have seen when you inflate the balloon, it is tight, it is swollen. What happens when you take out the air? When you deflate that thin balloon, long thin balloon, you will find that the wall of the balloon will stick with each other. Clear? So same thing will happen to the trachea in the absence of air. So to prevent from collapse, to prevent the walls from collapsing, these C-shaped cartilaginous rings are there. So main function of the C-shaped cartilaginous rings in trachea is to prevent the trachea from collapsing in absence of air. Clear, children? Now, after air passes through trachea, it comes to the bronchi. One bronchi, the left bronchi, enters the, rather we say the left bronchus, it enters the left lung, and the right bronchus to the right lung. Okay? Now, this bronchus is further divided into bronchioles in each lung, and at the end of each bronchiole appears like a bunch of grapes, this way. It appears like bunch of grapes. These are actually alveoli. These are alveoli. These alveoli are only single cell thick. They are extremely thin and they are richly supplied by blood. The main function of alveoli is to increase the total surface area for absorbing oxygen, clear, as well as to release carbon dioxide. Now, this alveoli is extremely important, as I said. So, here is the complete diagram of our human respiratory system. So, you must remember these parts as it is written in order. Okay? So, children, you must remember the order. What happens? Air is taken in, it passes through the nasal passage, it enters the pharynx, then through larynx, it enters the trachea. From the trachea, it is distributed to both the lungs via bronchi, and then via bronchioles, air enters the alveoli. Clear? Now, the total mechanism of breathing is a bit complicated process. Means the total process of respiration is a complicated process rather. It has two parts. And that how it occurs, that I will explain you in the next class. Because two things I have to do. One is the breathing part, another is cellular respiration. Clear? So, please go through this diagram, draw it nicely, understand it, and then I will do the explanation of respiration in the next class. Thank you.